Hello everyone. Today we are going to see a day 8 video which is going to talk on arrays. So in the yesterday's session we have been just seen a string. So how the string is going to be declared, how to assign it, how to declare it, how to just print it on a that is serial window. So this is for declaration by single bit, so accessing and assigning a value to it, or else you can just use a empty square bracket. So here the memory location is going to be activated automatically. So in this we are going to shorten the string, add a extra content by removing the some of the content present in the string which have been already available. So this was a procedure. So later we have been just seen some of inbuilt commands like to uppercase functions to convert your rows running letters to an uppercase one. And next one is like replace. So you are going to replace the specified characters which have been provided at the first end with a newer one. So my new string will be converted to your respective user defined value. So then we have been just seen a string length, how to find the length of a string. So this was all about yesterday's session. So today we are going to see about the arrays. So how the arrays are going to be declared, or what is the array in an Arduino. So let me just take a pen here. So first a consecutive group of memory which is going to have same type. So same type means same data type. So same data type which is going to have a consecutive group of memory. Consecutive means one after the other. So if you are declaring an array, so it is going to take a continuous memory, consecutive one after the other. So how this is going to happen is just I am taking an example as a variable C. So and I am assigning some of the values to it. See, like it is going to hold a 0 to 10 digit values. So here what actually it means that here you are going to just start with index 0, C of 0, so C of 1, C of 2, C of 3, so it is going till C of 10. So this is a consecutive memory. So you will be knowing a memory is a stack one where you are going to have each subdivisions. So like this. So till it reaches C of 10. So C of 0 can be like any of a value 5, 10, minus 5, 15, it can be 100. But the thing is, if you have been started with an integer, it should have a same data type. You cannot mix the data types here. So here these values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10 are going to call it as an index. So this is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. So this is called as an index or position of a number where exactly the data is going to be just seated. So the next one is like you can have an individual axis like C of 1, C of 2. So this is an individual accessing, and this is a position where the respective variables is going to store some of our constant values. So this is like name of a array, that is C. So ranging from 0 to 10. And here what inside you are seeing, so this is a values. Okay, sorry, your mouse is not working fine. Okay, values. So the name, and in the square bracket you are going to tell how many values it is going to store. Here it is of having same data type. So in order to access any of the things like individual accessing, you should use a square bracket like this. So to access a element, you can use the square brackets and you can print it using serial dot println. So this is like the example of having how to access. So position number, so this is a position number where it is going to give you a index. So everything is like first element is 0, the first element will be always will be equal to 0, that is it is going to call it as a 0 element, so that is going to store some respective constant values. So you can have some accessing is too much easy. So 0 c of 4 plus 2, you can do like this and you can just store in a new variable. So you can access a c of 4. If the value is 100 plus 2 is going to be added, or you can go for c of 4 plus c of 1, or you can go for c of 10. So like this you can individually access it and you can just having a addition operations, multiplication operations, so that is going to be allowed. So next one is like so this is like the examples what we have been just seen in the previous slide here. So c of 0 is going to store some value, so c of 1, so like this. So for having any kinds of accessing of a script, index you are going to just use with, and you are going to just having a access of a variables. So the next one is how to declare an array. So how to declare an array, see like the syntax here is, so type, so data type it is, so this is a data type. So what is a data type you are going to just use with, and this is a name of a variable and it is going to store the values from 0 to 11. So starting from c of 0, and it is going to store the values ranging till c of 11. So this is like how to declare a arrays. So let me just go with one of example here to show how to declare a array. So let me take a notepad. We are going to just start with what is this global declaration n of 10 semicolon. So void setup, so two flower brackets, void loop, again two flower brackets. So you are going for having a int value, that is for int I is equal to 0. So there is no separate declaration, you can have a declaration of a iteration variable inside the loop itself, I plus plus. So you can have flower brackets here, inside a flower brackets n of I will be equal to 0, and set the ith location to 0. So you are just making it as a 0. You can use a serial dot println and you can just print this I, and you can go for printing with a semicolon dot println. Okay, then this is an example for declaring the arrays. So after executing this thing, we will be seeing the output in this format. So we will be having a elements. So let me take a pen first. So you will be having a elements ranging from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till it reaches 11. Everything will be assigned to 0 for every execution it will be assigning the value to the 0 after executing this respective statement. So like next one is like you are going to initialize the array in the list. See, like the list means you are going to have too many values like in an array. So you are going to have a list declaration, initialization in the array in the list. So inside a square brackets 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, something like this. So this is a respective array declaration. Inside this, so we are going to declare an array with an list initialization. So this is a list initialization what I have been just shown for you. So we can just see this. So what I have been just shown is like n of 10 will be equal to 1 comma 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 1 semicolon. Okay, can go for another 2 values, not an issue. So void setup, then we are going for void loop. So in the void loop we are having a one for loop int I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. So inside this, so two flower brackets, enter, and we are going inside it serial dot print I. So next you are going to have a print ln the tabular column, one tab. So next one is like you can have another for loop int is equal to j less than 10, j plus plus. So inside the thing you can just print it. So serial print n of j. So the next one is you can just print the tab, or next line you can just go for. So this is like you are going to just have a initializing an array with a initial list. So after executing this line, see, like when I is equal to 0, I is printed and tabular column it is going to execute. So here n of j, so n you are going to be just initialized here. So n of first value is going to be just overwritten here. So this is like, so initially you were having a sum of values, and those values are going to be just printed using this initializer list. So this is a initializer list. So this list is going to be accessed by an array. So this is the actual concept behind it. So the output you can just see in this fashion. So 0, 1, 2, so till it reaches 9th iteration. So 0 is 2, 4, 6, so final thing will be 10, something like this. So this is like initializing the array using a iteration list. So next one is summing the elements of an array. So you are going to have a arrays like, so after declaring a array, those elements will be summed by using a total variable, and we are going to just initialize it to 0. So we have been declared some array, we are accessing the elements of it, and it is going to be added. So that is going to call it as addition of arrays. So here comes a declaration of array with the array size of 10. So you can just store some of the values here. So for this value we are going to find a sum of a values. So next one is like we are going to have void setup, void loop, void loop for int I equals to 0, I less than 10, that is array size I plus plus. So you are having a arrays, then total is equal to total plus a of I. So this is like you are just making a sum is just added iteratively and with the a of I. So a means this one, a of I first element will be taken, so total will be 0, 1 plus 0 is 1, which will be stored here. So it is taking a next variable, that is 2 plus 1. So initially 1 will be present, 1 plus 2, that is 3 will be present here. So next 3 plus next iteration 4, again it is going to make a addition like this. So this is like summing the elements which are being present in an array. So next one we are just going for passing an array to for functions. So like we have been just seen a functions in a previous previous videos, I guess. So for pushing some of our array to the functions, you need to have like so first thing is like the array's first address a of 0, this will be pushed to the function. So the array means like consecutive memory. If first address have been obtained, you will be getting the rest of our address. So the most important thing is the memory address of a first element is going to be just pushed. So this is the first and foremost thing. So the next one is like we are going to push the variables by taking into consideration of a reference. So reference means whatever you are going to push the values. So by taking this value as a reference, it is going to be pushed to the functions variables. So function have been declared with its own variables. For those, this reference value is going to be just pushed. So like we are going to write two programs here. First one is like taking only a one integer. So the next one function is like you can have a one integer and another one as a array. So like this. So these are the two things we can just see here. We can have one of example like so I am having two functions. So modify. So here we are having two inputs. One is array input and another one is only a single input. So this is one function we are going to write, and the next one is like so modify element. Element means a single one. So it is going to have only a single input. So you will be having void setup. So empty brackets, void loop. So in the void loop, the void setup, we can have some of the initialization saying that serial dot begin is equal to 9600. So array declaration can be just array declaration int array size is equal to 5 array size. So you can just go for int of a of array size. So you can have some 4 elements here, 0 1 2 3. Int a of I. So now you can have a for loop here. Int I is equal to 0, I less than array size, that is 5, I plus plus for I. So here you can just print the values. So this is like the array before passing the function. So in order to do that, you can just inform the user saying that these are all the values passing entire array. So effects of passing the entire array, passing the entire array. So you are going to print a of I. So the values of a modified array. So you can just have another print statement here. So modified array we can just go for. So the modified array, again you can just go for a for loop. So in the for loop you can go for another variable. So this is like we can just see effects of having an array after a modification. So before modify you can just see with another thing, after modification you can go for another variables. So let me just print a serial print saying that before modification so you are just printing a of 2. So this is like before modifying. In the same fashion you can have a after modification. So this is like after and before. So void loop is emptier one. So now first one is like array. So int empty comma int. So modify array element. So for int k equals to 0, k less than array size, you can have another variable called size. So that can be like less than size and k plus plus. So p of k will be added and equated to 2. So this is like modifying the array elements. So the next variable is void modify element wise. So only one variable, it is going to be verify only the one element in it. So serial dot print modify element. So in this we are going to just add equated to 2. So this is like having a respective functions. So this is like which is going to modify element wise. So here this is going to modify based on the array. So in order to take an array, you are going to just give the respective memory allocation as a empty. Whatever you are pushing here, it is going to come and it is going to modified with based on the arrays. So here only single element is modified. So this was like how to just modify the respective things. So the next one is like a multi-dimensional arrays. So the multi-dimensional arrays are the one which is going to have the rows, row 0, row 1, row 3 in the same fashion, column 0, column 1, column 2. So this is called as an multi-dimensional arrays. So this elements, so this is a multi-dimensional array. So you can store some of our elements here. So this is like the multi-dimensional data. So here in order to access it, R of 0 of C of 0 will be this respective value. So this is row value and this is a column value. So like this you can just have a assigning statement, or like if this is been assigned to one of a variable, you can directly use like a of 0 comma 0. So if it has been assigned to multi-dimensional array like this. So if you need to access another element of 0th row and this one, so you can just go for a of 0 and second element. So this is called as an multi-dimensional array. So in order to have some multi-dimensional arrays, so this is a procedure for having a multi-dimensional array 2, 2. So this is multi-dimensional arrays. So 1, 2, 2, 3. So this is like having a multi-dimensional arrays. So here the respective rules is like you will be having rows and columns. So in order to access it, you can use these kinds of scenarios: 0th and second position. So 0th row, second column. So this element will be accessed. So these are the some of the rules for multi-dimensional arrays. So you are having one of a program for this. So it is like how to access or how to declare a multi-dimensional arrays. So this is like we have been just having a multi-dimensional arrays. So let me just go for another declaration called array1. So rows will be 2, columns will be 2. So you can have the declaration like this. So this is 2, 2. So in the same fashion, we'll be having some of another arrays if you have been just having with void setup, void loop. can just go for serial.print values of array 1 by row. How to do this in row? So the row you can just print it, print array. So this is a function, so print array of 1. So this is like how to do this. We can just have a, you can write a program for this print array. So it is going to print so it is going to take int a of this common values and columns. So here for int I equals to 0, I less than rows, I plus plus. So the next one will be like for same thing, you are going for int j. So you are going to have a j. So instead of a rows, you will be having a columns. So rows, we have been not declared rows and columns. It is 2, 2. So here you are going to just print I, j. So this was as usual procedure what we have been just seen. So this is like how to access, how to declare and how to print a multi-dimensional arrays. So you can use a nested for loops here. So instead of having a single, like here you can just a nested for loop. Instead of the serial, you are going to have some of addition statements here. So this is the last thing, for loop for multi-dimensional data. So instead of this serial print of the same program, so we can just make a addition, that's all. So instead of a serial printing, we can have a total. So it is going to be added with a of row column. So like this. So you can use a for loop inside a multi-dimensional arrays as well. So that's it for this video, guys. I guess the session is informative. Let's meet you all in the next video. Thank you.